Hello, hello. Welcome to Audio Addiction. It is your boy Brandon. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Tonight, wow, we're going to be doing something a little crazy. It's probably going to be the biggest one of the biggest things I think I've had to tackle here on the channel other than BTS month last year. So, this is going to be quite the deep dive, but want to give a shout out to Sarah and Mod Sarah. They're the best shout outs. But they had implored me to do Boys Planet as a collective. So we are doing it. Today is finally the day, the time. We're on Boys Planet Millennium as I put in the go live notification because we're probably going to be doing it for the next 1,000 years. So, but no, seriously, huge thanks to Sarah. Much kudos. I don't even want to know how many hours it took them to research this, but it took a very long time. So, huge shout outs. Very stoked. But very nice. We've got Sarah says it's the day. Agreed. Kaylee says hello. Cinnamon says Boys Planet Day. Gunky says what's up? We're on Boys Planet Year. Agreed. Kala says woo. Absolutely. Connie, hello. Cinnamon says Sarah's PowerPoint and Google Docs are so good. Connie says, "Oh my God, Boys Planet time, let's go." Just says, "Oh, it begins." Yeah, that's how I felt when Sarah sent me the doc earlier today. I almost shit my pants. It was crazy. Hizao, hello, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it has been a while. So thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. I'm gonna pull the stream up, my part of the stream up here. We've got the craziest PowerPoint I've ever seen in my life here. But again, massive shouts to Sarah for putting it together. Let me know if it looks good for chat. I'll throw it together. But yeah, I'm very stoked. Sarah Gogi says I will probably be leaving your Boys Playing stream early to pick up my Switch 2. I have someone coming by to buy my PS4 Interactive, so I will disappear for a while. Good luck, and hopefully you enjoy the Switch 2. Um, I was gonna say today we test Brand's reskill. Oh God. Oh my God. Very nice. All right. Cool. Well, like I said, Sarah has lovingly put the playlist together. They also did send me something for Discord, which I should probably pull up because I'm gonna probably forget about it at some point. So it'd be good to have the basis point here. But all right. I will read Sarah's direct message because I thought it was hilarious. They said, tonight is going to be a big one. I apologize in advance. We're starting with slides 1 through 44, mostly pictures. It's not actually that much. Then we'll move on to playlist 1, which is the signal songs, auditions. It's 39 songs long, but it preach approximately a minute and a half each. Won't require much commentary. Then back to the PowerPoint for 45 through 56 are just pictures, can go through just as fast for slides 57 and 58. So very nice. I was gonna say Sarah is the go. Everyone, make sure if you're on stream, tell Sarah thank you, and then if you're watching this on again, if you're watching this on YouTube, also make sure to say thank you as well. So um very nice, very nice, very nice. Let's get into it. So let's see what we got. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm glad I read it. I was gonna say, Biscuit, hello. Sally says, hi, I'm excited to learn more about Boys Playing with you. Listen, if anyone's taking this journey, I appreciate it. Connie says, thank you, Sarah. You're the GOAT because there's a lot of info about BP. Agreed. And Biscuit says, ready to learn about Boys Planet. No, nothing actually, since I don't watch survival shows. Thank you, Sarah. Agreed. Um, I'm not gonna say that, but anyway, we're gonna start it off. What is Boys Planet? That's what I was asking myself all the time. But it is. Boys Planet was a 12 episode survival program that aired on Mnet from February 2nd to April 20th of 2023. The show pitted 98 trainees from two groups, K being Korean, G being global group. Okay, very interesting. Against each other for 9 spots in the debut lineup for a group under WakeOne Entertainment. The lineup of the group was chosen 100% by Star Creator fan vote. Okay, I have no idea what that is. I guess we're gonna find out. And with Korean votes making up 50% of the points and global votes making up the other 50%, Boys Planet was a direct follow-up of the 2021 program Girls Planet 999 and the 6th show in the Korean produced Planet series. Okay. Good vibes. Good vibe. Yes, also boo WakeOne. They suck. But we're here to learn. So, all right. And the contestants, the 98 Boys Planet trainees represent approximately 8 countries, including South Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, the United States, and Canada. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. That's awesome. Included amongst the contestants were trainees, idols, actors, former survival show contestants, and those simply dreamed to becoming K-pop idols. The following slides will introduce you to the contestants. Very nice, very nice. That is, like I said, very, very stoked. Let's see. Let's see. Sarah says, "Oh, there are presenter notes you may see under the slides." Okay. And then Sarah also says the Taiwanese group as Taipei group was not disrupted, as to not disrupt Chinese viewership. Okay, very nice. Thank you. All right, we've got Bok Doha. Hopefully, if I butcher any of these names, do not come at me. We have Cha Woon Ki. Sorry, I don't know why again, my reading comprehension is going to be tested tonight. I have Choi Jio. Apologize for using Mnet's god awful, heavily edited photos. They're the most convenient, unfortunately. These are great. Oh my god. All right. This is Choi Sung-hoon. We have Choi Woo-jin. I'm just gonna say their last names. It's probably just easier. And this is Seobin, Han Seobin. So very nice. All right, we're keeping it moving. We've got a lot. I imagine the Korean members are gonna be the highly stacked groups here. So, Kagi says you must get all of them perfect, or it's the Waffle House for you. Oh no, not the Waffle House. Sarah says only the last names that matter are the Hanbins. Okay, very nice. We have Han Yujin, we have Han Yosep, and Hong Kyung-hee. Hopefully I pronounce it again. We're doing it here. We have Jang Jiho, we have Jang Minso, and Jang Yujin. I feel like this. I mean, obviously, I know if I remember how Korean names are set up, I'm pretty sure the first name is your last name, and then obviously the second part of your name is either your first name or middle name. I only know that because I still have a Korean name as well. So I'll have to walk you through it. I mean, not to get confused with any Boys Planet member here, but all right, and then we have Jeon Ho-young, we have Jeon Woo-sik, we have Jung Ichan, very nice. We have Ji Yunso, Jung Hyojin, and Jung Hwanrock. Very interesting. Okay, individual trainees. I like that Sarah listed out the companies or I guess people they're representing. So we have Jung Mingyu, we have Jung Se-yoon, we have Kim Gyuvin. Hopefully, again, don't test me on this. We've got Kim Ji-wong, we have Kim Min-hyuk, and we have Kim Min-seo. Mingyu, okay, very nice. The companies are relevant for their first performances. Okay, appreciate it, Cinnamon. All right, we have Kim Tae, we have Kom Jun Hyun, and we have Lee Dae-hyul. We have Lee Donggun. We have Lee Dong-yeol. and Lee Holtic. Cube. Wow. Okay. I'm curious. I'm curious to where all of these members ended up being in. So very interesting. All right. We've got Lee Hwan-hee, Lee Jeon-hyun, Lee Sung-hwan. We have Lee Yedam. We have Lim Jinso. We have Moon Jung-hyun. Very nice. We have Oh Sung-min. We have Park Gun-wook. We have Park Kwan-young. Very cool. Very cool. We have Park Han-bin. We have Park Hyun-bin. And Park Hyo. And then we have Park Min-so, Se-hwan. And then Sung Han-bin, my guy. I'll never forget him. We have Sung Hyun, and Yu Jung Woo. So very nice. Okay, now we're getting into new territory here. Yeah, Brandon's sword enemy. Listen, I want to preface, he is not my sword enemy, but I did see him a lot in the other show we watched. So, Kaylee says Brandon's going into this with beef with Hanbin. No. I could never. Listen, he's my brother. We can't do that. Santa says, "Oh gosh, I'm late for my first day of class." That's how I felt. I'm not gonna lie. All right, we have Anthony with 2 N's. What a goat. We have Brian. We have Kai Jin. Hopefully, again, don't butcher me on this. We have Chen Jian Yu. We have Chen Quan Ju and Chen Liang. Very nice. Okay. I like this. We have Chen Ren Yu, Chen Yu Gang, and Kong. That is interesting. Okay, so he has no that is wild. He has no first, middle, anything. That's interesting. Okay. All right. We have Dang Hong Hei. We have Dong Dog. I'm gonna remember that most likely. We have Fang Jun Lan. Very nice. Cinnamon says Kong is a stage name, I believe. Okay. Very interesting. Some of these, Kaylee says, I think some of these just enter with stage names. Okay, that would make sense. I wonder why. If you know why, I guess maybe for like privacy circumstances, maybe that's the case. But that's the only thing I can think of. All right, we have Haruto, and Hirito. Very nice. We have Hyo, Ichika, Itsuzuki. Very nice. We have Christian. We have Li Xinhuan. We have Ma Jin Zhang. Simmons said some of their real names are too complicated, like Thai names. Okay. Did I miss one? A full slide. Which one did I miss? Did I miss this one? We got J, Key, and Kita. Hopefully it's this one. If I miss one, let me know. Jay, my man. Okay. A, okay. Perfect. All right. I just want to make sure I got through all of them. I can't be skimping, All right. The next one we've got is Min Na Kadim and Nice. I feel like I'm going to remember Nice. That's cool. I'm about it. We have Ollie, Osuki, and Oju. Very nice. Okay. We've got Kui Shenyang. We have Ricky and Riku. I feel like I remember Ricky for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like my brain is connecting with something. Sarah says Ricky when I catch you, Ricky. Okay. I was gonna say it sounds familiar. So, all right, we have Seok Matthew. We have Takuto. We have Toy. Sarah says he's young, rich, tall, and handsome. Of course, you remember him. I was gonna say there has to be some there's probably gotta be some memes in the Discord. I wouldn't be surprised. So um confusion itself. Muth you in Takuto. All right, we have Wang Yan Hong, we have Yang Zi Hao, and we have Wen Ye Chen. Very nice, very nice. Okay, we've got Winnie Wumuti. He's in another group. He's got to be. That guy's face looks familiar. Jean Hao, very nice. There's some people that I recognize. Yeah, I'm starting to draw the lines here, so that's good. This is Yang Jun. We have Yuki. You have Yutaka. Very nice, very nice. We have Yuto. We have Zheng Hao. We have Zheng Shu Bo. Very nice, very nice. All right, wow, we made it through. So surprised. All right. Boys Planet. Boys Planet was teased during the 2021 Mamba Awards with the release date in 2022. Due to production issues, Boys Planet released later pushed to 2023 with the official release date of February 2nd of 2023, confirmed through a teaser image released on December 21st of 2022. The signal song Here I Am was released on December 29th of 22, revealing Sung Hanbin and Xiang Hao as the centers of K group and G group, respectively. The same day, contestants' profiles were released, revealing all the contestants for the first time. Short self-introduction videos for the trainees were released on January 1st through the 2nd of 2023, with several contestants gaining viral attention for these introductions. On January 5th of 2023, Boys Planet held its first in-person fan meeting, allowing the 95 contestants to meet fans for the first time. Very nice, very nice. Is that I will ask because chat would know this way better than I would. Is it typical for them to release a signal song before the show is announced? Like not, and obviously like I'm just curious if that's kind of like their precursor to like, you know, obviously draw hype for the show. Okay, so it is. Okay, very nice. That would make sense. I feel like if I'm thinking in the mindset, you know, like I feel like my marketing background would indicate that you would want to try to get your head start. So that's good. Smart move. Sarah says they also tend to chart pretty well. Yeah, like a teaser. Exactly. I kind of figured as much, but very nice. Good to know. All right, we have star level testing. Boys Plans episode 1 and 2 revolve around the star level testing, in which contestants perform in front of star masters or judges, are assigned a star value of 0 through 4 based on their talent and potential to be idols. The contestants perform in groups or individually based on company or region. The premiere episode also introduced the 7 permanent star masters that would act as mentors throughout the season. Very nice, very nice. And Kaylee says to get people interested. I would imagine so. Though I feel like they probably have a pretty good track record at this point to do well. So very cool. All right. And we're going to meet the Star Masters. We have Soji, very nice, EXID member and university professor. Oh, wow. That is quite the accomplishment. We have Lee Seok-hoon, singer and actor. One Star, who is a singer and songwriter. Very nice. Let's see who else. We've got the Dance Masters. We have Baek Koo-young. We have Choi Young-jun and Lip J. All right, and their roles are dancers, choreographer, performance director, dancer and choreographer, and whacking dancer. Ooh, okay. All right, we have Rap Master, which is PH1, obviously rapper, very nice. Love to see it. We have Guest Star Masters, which is Hwang Min-hyun, former 101 and former newest. Very interesting. Okay. And we have Sunmi, which is a soloist and former Wonder Girl. That's my girlfriend's favorite artist, Sunmi. So I feel like I'm surprised. I'll have to ask her if she watched Boys Planet or not. But I know she loves some. I know she loves me some Sunmi. So I've heard her stuff. So I like it too. So let's keep it moving. Other guest stars, we have Yo Jinggu, actor, and Lee Minhyuk of Huta and B2B. Very nice. I love that. Minhyuk, my guy. We vibes. I think it's funny that Jingo, his name is similar to my Korean name, so I respect that. That's cool. Very nice. All right. We also have more guest stars. We've got Key from SHINee. Love to see it. Joe Kwan, who is a musical director and former 2AM. Very nice. I was going to say Happy Pride Month. We love to see it. The GOATs. We have more guest stars. We have Somi. Very nice. Followist / former IOI. I feel like it makes sense that she was on the other show now because I feel like she just shows up as a guest star. And then we have Kim Jae-hwan, soloist and former 101. Very nice. Love to see it. And then we have all-star level test. And then I guess these are the particular people that were on this all-star level test. So, very interesting. Okay. If I need to stop on this, you can go to the playlist if you like. Okay, very nice. I was like, oh shit. I was like, where am I at? But all right, very nice. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Let me get my audio going for that too. All right. Very cool. All right, we're getting into the absurd playlist here. Let's go.
The birth of a new shining star.
I feel like I'm in class. Do I have to take notes?
The miracle that the two become the one. That glittering starlight over there is said to be light from tens of thousands of light years ago. That light has been shining for a very long time, waiting for someone to find out.
Beautiful piano.
나 여기 있어. 아마도 너와 나 서로를 발견하기 위해 시간을 거슬러 경계를 넘어 우주를 건너 빛의 속도로 달려온 걸지도 몰라. 너, 나, 우린 빛나. 모른 척 이대로 지나칠 수 없어. 맞물린 시선 속에 너를 읽었어. 그 표정 그 눈빛 분명 본 적 있어. 난 너야 안녕 나야 Yes me yes me All day all night long 숨 쉬듯이 원할 테니 내게 맡겨봐. 눈부신 영혼 내 손을 잡아 둘이 더 좋잖아. Me plus you 나와 닮은 너와 함께 미라는 이름 안에서 웃게 해.
I like this pre-chorus build. It's nice. I like this. This is good.
있잖아 나라는 상처투성이 괜찮아 보관아줄 네가 있었어 고마워진 난 널 위해 나 여기 있어 있잖아 여기 있잖아 있잖아 여기 있잖아
Ah, nice. All right. All right, all right, all right. I like this. Ah, they're gonna. This is a Brandon seal of approval. Yeah, this is great. I'll have to listen to other Signal songs though. The ending fairies, yeah, I was gonna say. You know. Remember that one time y'all made me do ending fairies at the end of stream? I remember. Wow. Damn. Alright, listen, I can't hate you anymore, Hanbin. Alright? That's fair. I respect that. My man said, let me look. Damn, did he drop his in-ear pack? That's hard. I respect that. There was no you, there was no me. 감정만 쏟은 in place.
We are Avengers.
Hey! Hey, hey! Hey!
I mean, I would have problems with it too if I was fucking doing backflips and shit. Like somersaults, flipping.
Trouble like a misstep. 비상이 컸야. 버버버릭야. I'm on a glitch mode.
Hey, that was clean. That was clean. All right. That was WakeOne G, and they performed Glitch Mode by NCT. Very nice. Simmons says, watching these makes me realize how much they improved in this show. I thought this was great. Like I said, the backflipping, the somersaulting, I feel like that's I want to say typically extras normally in a bad category, but I would say they're being extra and I feel a good way. You know what I mean? Like you look at that and you're just like, damn, okay, like pop off kings. You know what I mean? Like, so I felt that was good. I don't know if I've heard Glitch Mode from NCT Dream or not. If it is a title track, then I'm just PTSD about NCT Dream, just NCT as a collective. I do remember a little bit of it, but I feel like maybe it's just my collective brain is shattered into a million pieces now. But I think they performed it very well. Like I said, just doing the choreography the way that they did. You know, I definitely appreciate that a lot. Kaylee says you would with the MV probably. I was gonna say makes sense. No, this is great. I like this. This is good. They crushed it. So definitely a cool performance. I think it like maybe it's just me because we're on the second video and we have like mucho more to go, but I feel like if anything, like not that I didn't already have respect for what K-pop artists go through, both, you know, male or female. But I feel like it just seeing like talent like that in like a more audition perspective versus like obviously if you're performing it for an MV or whatever. But I feel like this is incredible. So I'm glad to be able to experience some of these things in like in a real way, because it, you know, just the amount of hours and time that you would take to prep something like this is impressive. So kudos to them. It was great. So all right, let's keep it moving. Sarah says there are so many of these guys were good, just like raw dog in the stage without all the everything for a debut idol. I was gonna say, yeah, I think you gotta respect that a ton. So the next is Taipei, and they are doing Tiger Inside. Okay, check it out.
정거리 씹어먹어야미 해슬리에 등은 보이지 마 So run up 깨워봐 Hurry up Wake up 깨워봐 Hurry up 미안해 호랑이 더 거칠거칠 숨소리 힘껏 질러봐 Show me what you got 뛰는 쇠리에 뛰는 쇠리에
Where did you get that from? What? What the hell? That's awesome. All right, that was Super M's Tiger Inside, done by Taipei. Very nice. Very, yeah. He was just like, you know, I will set my performance apart, doing, you know, whatever, like some sort of martial art in it. I thought that was so funny. That's crazy. That was Rui. Okay, shout out to Rui. He is a king. We love to see it. He was great. Very nice, very nice. Jazz says, "Oh, remember this one." Simmons says, "I love the little solo piece Rui performed after this performance in the show." Sarah says, I think I have to give absolutely biggest shout outs to the G group contestants for executing these performances with most of the time absolute strangers in the matter of weeks. I was going to say that is impressive. Kaylee says a lot of times they get to show off skills too. I was going to say that makes sense. He's my girlfriend's princess. Oh boy. This is cool. Obviously really dig Super M. It has been quite a minute since we covered Super M, so again, apologies if this was also a title track, because for whatever reason I don't remember that. But I thought this was nice. I think their performance, like I said, their choreography was really sick. I like, obviously, like a lot of those like those like moments where they're doing like tiger impressions and sort of stuff like that. Like it obviously was incorporating it in their choreography. That was cool. Like I said, that whole stick being pulled out of nowhere, I thought that was very interesting, but it was definitely something that would be memorable. So I can only imagine watching this when you know all the auditions came out. But this was fun. So another really solid one. So Very nice. We are moving on to the next one, which looks to be Thailand's Coco Bop. Very nice. Simon says the staff is a part of some traditional Chinese dances. I was gonna say, and I know a lot of like traditional Chinese dances. And you know, as speaking, I guess for like a lot of Asian cultures, I know that they incorporate a lot of like that Taekwondo or Tang Sudo or you know other versions of martial arts in there. So very cool. Kaylee says, does Brandon get to see this at any point? Oh boy. I'm sure we're gonna find out. Sarah says, I could add it later, but most of the extra stuff got condensed for time. I appreciate it. So if we have time, I would be down to check it out. But all right, let's keep it moving. Let's get into Coco Bop. I do remember this EXO song because this was more current.
Shimmy shimmy cocoa bob, I think I like it. 긴장은 더더 부끄러 말고
어지러운 마음속에 내가 들어가 익숙한 데 부드럽게 내게 번져가
아우 고요한 밤이야
아우 널 위한 밤이야
참을 수가 없어 빠져가 yeah yeah 너의 먼지 빼는 취해가 yeah
네가 알던 뻔한 모습은 나를 잊어오는 숨겨둔 본능이 심리야 It goes down down baby
리듬의 온몸은
It goes down down
baby
말뛰고 소리쳐 우린
We going cocoa bob
We going cocoa bob
Nice. All right. Very cool. All right. This was Thailand's Coco Bop, originally done by EXO. Very nice. I do remember not being a big fan of Coco Bop, and that still is the case for Thailand. No offense to them. That does not discredit their performance. I think their performance of the song was very good. Definitely, like I said, I feel like breath control is such a difficult thing when you're doing choreography like that. So for them to still hold it pretty well, I think they did a pretty good job. Like I said, I know Lord knows I couldn't do it. So, but to see again them moving with such like emphasis and to still kind of create like still have really good breath control, I think is damn near impressive. So very nice. Cinnamon says if we could do a watch party, he could see it then. That is true. We'll have to. If there's other stuff that we missed for Boys Planet, I would be more than glad to hop on Discord and do a. I missed out on some funny stuff in Boys Planet, and I had almost positive that people will be able to send me clips. So we'll have to do it. We'll plan it out. But Sarah says this is our first audition group with a previously debuted K-pop idol in it. Winnie previously being in 9i. Okay. And Sarah says there's so much Bessie. I feel like I know what I signed up for, but I'm sure there's probably some stuff that I'm missing. So I feel like we could inevitably do it at some point. So Kaylee says, "Oh, fun. We'll have to think about it." But yeah, I like this. Like I said, not really fond of the original EXO song. No offense to any EXO stans. I still love EXO as a collective, but I know this one wasn't it. This one didn't hit for me, but it is what it is. We are moving on to the next one. This is Canton, China, and they are doing God's Menu. Ooh, I do know this one, so stoked. I'm curious how they're gonna handle this one. So let's check it out. I'm gonna get so annoyed at that intro song.
네, 손님 어서 오십시오. 이 가게는 참 메뉴가 고르기로 쉽죠. 뭐 시켜도 오가는 만두 갓 지나가도 난 그대 미루기 갓 my pretty 갓 코끼리 소시 맛대로 음향권에 캔말을 본 티스 불편함은 모르죠 뻔 모두 자극적인 건 I want it to 담겨 네가 좀 헐크 boundary 경계적 없어 마치 창조하듯
구석에서 만들어가 새롭게 Because we're one of a kind 누구도 따라할 수 없는 now On game 시작부터 다 우리 거
잠깐 떠나간다 해도 결국 다시 시작해 돼 졸기가 시시야 눈물 눈치가 부풀어 쌌다 음악 때려 때려다가 뚜뚜뚜뚜뚜뚜 Hey 이게 우리 탕탕탕탕 뚜뚜뚜뚜뚜뚜 이게 우리 탕탕탕탕 뚜뚜뚜뚜뚜 어서 오십시오 이 가게 있는 자 메뉴가 불러기던 식죠 뭐 시켜도 어가는 만족하지
Are they performing it in Chinese or are they performing it in Korean? I'm curious if you know, chat. All right. Very nice. This was Canton China's God's Menu. Okay, it is in Korean. I thought it was. Just wanted to double check. Okay. Listen. I'm always about taking positives out of this. I will say vocally, this is a little of a struggle. Lord knows I could do it, so I can't. Listen. This is, I'm just a guy here talking to internet, so I can't say I'm much better. But I will say, at least for the song, I love that they have the energy. You know what I mean? Like, there is like. You could tell they tried, right? You know what I mean? And I understand that not everybody's going to want to take the same graces that I'm going to take, but I feel like you want to feel like they are giving it their effort, and I feel like that is certainly the case with this. I think the positive I could take out of this is their choreography was great. I just think, obviously it's, I will say it is a well-known song, and it when you know how a song originally sounds versus the way that you're listening to this performance, sometimes those things don't line up, and that is what it is. But I gotta give him credit. The heart is there, and I think for me that, like, I love that. You know what I mean? So, was it my favorite performance of tonight? Probably not going to be, but can I tell that the effort is there? Absolutely. So, Kaylee says Brandon just gave. You're doing great, sweetie. I am giving you're doing great, sweetie energy. Listen, I could be the cheerleader. So, Sarah says it especially sucks for songs that had at least one master work on it, which is many. Okay. Simon says, "Oh wait till we get to my house performance." Oh. I can imagine. So, or how hot performance. Excuse me. I did see hot was on here. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. We have Vietnam's view next. Oh, there is a house. There's two house per. What? Okay, I thought it was hot. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. But let's get into Vietnam's view. Let's go. Hot and My House. I was going to say there's two songs, yeah. So, all right. Let's go. Oh, this is a shiny song? All right. I'm curious how they're going to do.
모두 할 말을 잃지 like you 4차원 이상의 기적의 view
달콤이지 검은 빛 from you 보이기 시작하는 햇살도
눈이 내친 걸 느껴 뚜렷한 습관과 여섯 번째 감각이 나 있어 나
좀 거칠어도 좋아 더 민감고 너는 숨기지 말아줘 너무 아름다운 down 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 view hey! 너무 아름다운 down 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 view 더 보여줘 down 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 view 너무 아름다운 down 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 let's go 너무 아름다운 hey! 그곳으로 데려가줘
처음이겠지 like you
I feel what time to say
향과
All right, very nice. This was Vietnam's version of Chinese View. Very nice, very nice. Sarah says, "Okay, real talk. Kong got screwed over in this song. He got a 1 star for bad pronunciation, but he is actually doing really well all over. I'm still so mad. This is not a 1 star performance for either of them. I would listen. This requires full screen. This was not a bad performance. I will firmly plant my feet in the ground with Sarah and say this is not a bad performance. This is I've heard some bad performances. I feel like this is not justified. This is very good. Maybe listen, I'm not a hard critic, so maybe that's my cross to bear, but I got to say, man, this was this was good. Like I said, pronunciation I feel like you could fix. Like I said, I don't shit, my pronunciation's bad, but I will say, man, this was good. Listen, if I was a star master, which I'm certainly not, but I feel like this was good. I didn't like this was one that I feel like, especially again for Shiny being like they're phenomenal vocalists, you know. I feel like I think they did the song a pretty good justice, you know. So I don't see what the hate was for this one, in my opinion. I'm just some guy online, but I feel like this was great. Choreography was good, clean. But yeah, I don't get that. That seems like a really harsh way to view this one, because like I said, I'm I'm sure there's gonna be some less than stellar performances that I'm gonna listen to, and I feel like this is not one of those. So, anyway, Cinnamon says the Star Masters were extremely harsh on some of them. Gungi says, I will just agree with you since I just got back and didn't hear it. Cinnamon says, I do feel the Masters were harsher on G groups. Yeah. Connie says, I'm sure I can be a better judge than some of the judges in survival shows. They don't judge well. They just pick whoever is more visual. That is possible. Kaylee also said, okay, bad pronunciation is something you can easily improve. What the hell? I also agree. Jazz says, I agree with you. Then they did well. I think we're all in conjunction. I feel like we all think this is a great performance. So this was this was a bad call. It does happen sometimes. But all right, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one is America, and they're doing Rush Hour. Ooh, okay. Let's go.
Do you guys know this song? Hey, ladies, gentlemen, do what you want to do, baby.
All right. This was Yu Hui Group K, and they also performed Kicked It by NCT 127. Very nice. I think seeing these back to back is very interesting. The songs were like a little bit different, and I did see that Sarah clarified it was they actually got a customized mix, not just a remixed dance break. Okay. I thought this was I thought it was interesting to have them back to back. I will say I think I liked G a little bit more, but I will say K, I liked their vocal tones. I feel like their vocals stood out a little bit more. I don't know if it's just because of the mix or the way that the vocals were stylized in like this performance, but it just seemed like they had a little bit more clarity to them and like a little bit more definition. So I was surprised because like I think obviously performing the same song back, like I guess in this sense back to back, because as I'm listening to him, I was able to pick it out more. But I thought this was solid. I thought both of them were great. Like I said, I would say G brought the energy in terms of choreography. I think the choreography was a little bit better on their end, in my opinion, and I feel like K was more vocal. I like their vocals instead. So, like I said, neither one was bad. If we're talking in the stretch of that again. You know, performance wise, I didn't think like either one of them were really bad, but I did appreciate it. So, let's see. We've got some interesting commentary here. Simmons says Group K got a much better mix than Group G. Keep moving here. I want to try to get through good bits of comments. Jazz says also screw UA. Glad Everglow finally made it out of that damn company. Yes, agreed. Biscuit says, wait, Sarah, was that the show Mnet was mistreating some of what the Chinese members said? Mistranslating, excuse me. I can't even fucking read. Wow, that's bad. If that is true. Sarah says, this is another debut ready group that were instead sent to Boys Planet to compete against each other. Oof, rough. Kangi says the vocals were kind of flat by some of the members in this one, at least to me. I would say I would agree with you, though. I think that the vocals were more defined. I didn't mean it in like I think the mix of the first song in terms of vocals didn't seem like there was as much pop to them, and I felt like this one, it was like a little overdone, where like you could really hear their like the cadence a little bit more. So I wouldn't say overall it was better. I was just saying like you can definitely hear a little bit more definition. Maybe that's probably why I enjoyed it more, but it very nominal. Sarah says eventually Chinese contestants just stop speaking Chinese and only use Korean or English to avoid mistranslation. Oof. That is Gangi says I would agree with you. Oh, thank you. We're on the same page tonight, Gangi. I appreciate that. All right. We're gonna keep it moving. We have Jung Mingyu's My House. There's two people that are doing this song. Okay, very, very interesting. Sarah says, you guys hear that? I don't, I think someone is at my, oh no. All right. Let's go. I'm worried. A little bit of it, Gunky. Anyway, very nice. That was, that was Jung Mingyu, and they performed My House. Kaylee says love the commitment though. Jazz says love the confidence though. Red shirt down. Simon says I'm cackling. Connie says LOL your face. God. Sarah says this is truly my guy. He just had no idea how to sing or dance. Oof. Listen. I can feel for this. This is difficult. You know what I mean? Like, as I mentioned, Lord knows I could do this shit because I can't. But this was interesting to sit through. I want to say I don't want to be mean because I'm not mean spirited. I don't like being mean, but you know, listen, the confidence, he was exuding confidence, and listen, I don't want to take that away from him. So, I'm gonna let him keep on keeping on, and I respect that I respect that he had the balls to even do this. So, Gunky says he sounds like what I would probably sound like. I was gonna say probably not good, but at the same point, I don't know if I would have the level of confidence that he has. I mean, look at this guy. This guy is fucking grinning face to face. So, Sarah says, I sent you their duet to watch after the next one. It's on Disco. Oh, God. Kaylee says, Brandon doesn't know the original either, so when you hear it now, you'll think of this every time. No. I think that's honestly, I think that might, no. Listen, I will bring a positive, I'll bring positive affirmations. You know what I mean? Listen, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. So, anyway, we're gonna move on to Bak Doha. And are they performing the same song? Are they also performing My House? Oh boy. Sarah says, okay, I do think Boys Planet for a lot of these songs. So I'm just spreading the curse. Oh boy. Oh, same song and like same outfit. Oh God. Okay. Woo! Let's go.
태양을 타리는 마차에 쏟아려 Juicy juicy
아마 소리 기가 들려 세상을 살 조금씩 달려 연투에 뜨고 바바 건져 울려 우리 뜨고 fire 뭐 따라가려 해 우리 반시대로 떠도 지켜워 밤이 오는 날 하늘은 붉은색 모든 세상에 빛이 하나 든대 꽃을 시험과 리듬과 your vibe 우리는 태양의 내일로 걸어봐 I don't wanna go 우리는 trouble like ha 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 우지긴 feel it so hot 노래 뻔히 like ha 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 우리는 trouble like ha 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 오지긴 feel it so hot 얌룬 you ha 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 태양 hey yeah hey 부부쳐라 뜨거워 이 노래 everybody dance
All right. Well, this was Sichuan China's hot. Man, Sarah says to only make it worse, one of the dance masters is 17. No, main choreographers, including doing this dance. Kaylee says, I love watching Brandon experience what everyone else did the first time around. Listen, you're getting the mirror is reflecting, you know. God, listen, I don't want to be mean because I'm just, you know, it is in my playbook, but this was rough. This was rough. Like I said, and I'll preface multiple times, I know I can't perform in this song. I know I couldn't do this shit. So again, much kudos for them being at least trying and being able to do their best. I think that's great. This was not it though. It was a little rough, but I give them credit for going out there and doing it. So kudos to them. It is what it is, you know. Kaylee says, I love that 17 reacted to this. Oh my god, what did they I have to know what they thought about that. That's wild. Sarah says, something that I can say for all the contestants, at least they did the damn thing. That's my sentiment. And Cinnamon said this was a huge meme. I could see that for sure. This is honestly still a meme. Yep. And they found it funny. That would, yeah. You know, it would have been really great if they actually if they perform hot and they brought them out to perform hot. I feel like that would be that would bring the meme to the ultimate peak. Sarah says, I think unfortunately we're at the beginning of the songs that end up in the bad audition montage. Oof. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna do what we can here. All right. This is Lee Donggun in their performance of Criminal. Check it out. Oh, a Taemin song. Okay.
La 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 해롭단 거 잘 알지 그 눈빛과 움직임 널 벗어나려 하지만 세뇌된 채로 고개를 끄덕여 난 눈말에 꼬이고 춤추는 두 발이 왠지 싫지는 않지 애초에 정해진 너라는 진리에 저항할 마음 없으니 도망쳐줘 후예 날 해치는 크리미널 날 달래본 괴롭혀 너란 목줄을 채웠나 숨을 쉴 수 없게 아프면서 암울하잖아 날 망치는 크리미널 고개를 쳐보지만 깊이 끌려가 너
꽃이 아마 전부 무너뜨려 날.
All right. This was Lee Donggun and their performance of Taemin's Criminal. I feel like this is like Mount Everest, right? Like I feel like very few people would be up for the task of climbing Mount Everest. I feel like Taemin is one of those artists that would be arguably very difficult to cover, or obviously do performance of. And why, in terms of vocals, I can say that he may have matched that level. I will say, like, in terms of effort, it was definitely there. Like, I loved his choreography. I think he crushed it. I think there's definitely some things to be worked on with him, but overall, like, again, is it the greatest performance I've heard? Not really. But I think, like I said, the effort is there, and you gotta respect the choice. I just feel like if you're choosing a Taemin song, you better be on your shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you gotta have big balls to do a Taemin song. You know? So, do I feel like they're there? Not really, but hopefully they'll get there. But Simmons says there are definitely worse performances than this one. I would agree. Connie says you gotta be so brave to audition with a Taemin song. I was gonna say. Sarah says he's a really sweet guy. That's awesome. Good to hear. Love to see it. Hopefully he didn't get chewed out too bad. I feel like that would be such a hard thing to sit through if you're like one of the judges and stuff. So I hope he wasn't critiqued too harshly, but given the show, I would imagine he probably was. So, hopefully on to bigger, brighter things for him. But like I said, not the worst performance I've heard, but definitely you could tell there is stuff that could be worked on for sure. So, Sarah says that he flirted with one of the judges, so he was really nice to him. Ooh, okay. Very interesting. All right. We have Aichi Japan and their performance of Crown. Okay. Let's check it out.
코 속에서 너를 멍하니 보는 넌 내가 아냐 어지러운 떴던 sound on my head 이대로도 만지고 싶어 달라지고 싶어 저 멀리 나는 그 어떤 누구와 해 내 몸이 미쳐나봐 내 머리에 불이 돋아 어떻게 멈추지 몰라 세상 속 나 혼자 나빠 구해줘 어쩌면 난 괴물이 된지도 몰라 Got no vampire 눈하게도 나와 같은 아픔인 걸까 모래불이 쏟아 But I love you 넌 내 왕관이 되지 툭툭툭 때니까 심장 내 홈런 But I love you 비로소 완벽해 괴로움만 짜면 쓰리쓰리 야야야
All right. This is Aichi's Japan performing Crown by TXT. Sarah says we also don't know exactly in which order they audition, and there was a major disadvantage going later since this whole audition day was 20 hours long. Ooh, holy shit, that is insane. I feel like this wasn't bad. Like I said about the previous audition, I feel like there was definitely some, bright spots in the song. I think their choreography was really good. And they really definitely nailed down that like cute vibe, so I liked it. I think some of the singing was not bad, but definitely you could tell like they were going a little sharp, which again, might be nerves, might be, obviously moving around, and doing the choreography. So I feel like this is definitely something that could be worked on, but isn't necessarily something where I was like, damn, this is really like I'm not jiving with this. I feel like this one was like, it's not bad, but still good performance. There's definitely some room for improvement for sure. So Kaylee says, not bad, just needs improvement. Still good job. I was gonna say, nailed it. Absolutely same wavelength tonight. But yeah, overall, didn't mind it. This was not bad. So very nice. The next one is Jung Seon, Damdadi Da. Very nice. All right, let's go.
Damdadi 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 dam. Eyo eyo. Damdadi 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 dam.
아 어지러워 달달한 너의 멘트 남다른 모습이 난 바로 오케이 난다른 여자는 관심 없어 애가 양탄다 Hurry up girl
땀땀땀땀다디 반전의 기분 봐 philosophy so high 날 미치게 해너난 love it 안 들려 안 보여 멈출 수가 없어 낮에도 밤에도 감출 수가 없어 담다디 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 다디 다디 담
난 다르다니까
담다디 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 다디 다디 담
Ooh.
담다디 담다디
All right, very nice. This was Jung Seon and Damdadi Da. Very nice. I was gonna say I wanted to ask what it was, but I think the top comment on it was Golden Child, so that makes sense. I'm glad I googled it correctly. So, Sarah says, so this is Boys Planet's youngest contestants. Short hair is 14 years old. The other contestant isn't mentioned, as he hurt his leg and dropped out of the competition prior to it airing. Ooh, oh damn. Hopefully he's doing better now. Seems like it's been a bit, obviously, which is good. Simmons says, CM was one of my P7 picks. Ooh, okay. Jazz says, we've covered a lot of Golden Child too. So many groups we still haven't done. Golden Child would be cool. Like I said, performance wise, this was solid. Like liked their more like chipper. I don't know why I said chill. Chipper, like very bubbly sort of attitude. If they're not in groups now, I feel like, since they were so young, I imagine if they aren't a part of a group now, I'd be surprised. But yeah, I think I think that they definitely fit well on like more of that cutesy boy end of things, in terms of K-pop. But yeah, I didn't think this was bad. There's, like I said, there's always room for improvement, but I thought the performance was very, very solid. So, especially considering how young they are, I feel like that's I feel like that goes a long way there. But yeah, overall, didn't hate this one. This was good. All right, we've got Choi, Jiu, and Mmmh. So let's go. Let's get into it.
You made me feel so
숨을 내쉬고 better life 경계를 넘었어 life 내 품에 널 안아 life 다른 생각은 하지마 Oh yeah Whoa I said Yeah Whoa Yeah I said reset farm에 돌아 always 말없이 바라보기만 해 그때 마치 너의 ex-friend이지 나만의 빛을 깨버릴 때 너에게로 가까이 나도 모르게 갑자기 너무 뜨거워 내 두 날개가 타버릴 때가 너무 나빠서 네 맘을 전부 빼앗고 싶어져 Don't you worry 아마도 내가 이 세상을 전부 가지는 일이 될 테니 Got you like 숨을 내쉬고 better life 경계를 넘어서 life 내 품에 널 안아 like Yeah, I said
Ooh. All right, very nice. This was Choi Jiho, and their performance of Kai's Mmmh. Very nice. I thought this was I was gonna say I thought he did pretty well. Like I said, I feel like Kai is one of those artists that is like difficult to nail down. Kaylee even echoed my comment saying Kai is one of those I'd be so nervous about covering just because he's so distinct. And Biscuit also said the same thing. Yeah, I thought the performance was very solid. Like I said, I feel like with some of these latter ones, like there's definitely some things where I was like, it just as kind of like, again, someone who's been listening to music for a long time, there's like little things where I was like, oh, it's a little off, but it wasn't like, I didn't think it was particularly bad. I thought it was really well rounded. I just think there's obviously some polish, right? I think that K-pop idols collectively, whether you're a girl in girls group or a guys group, I think there is a level of polish that you have to have, right? And I feel that knowing and listening to K-pop for 2 years ish, I think there's this distinct thing where like your performance, the way you choreograph the song has to be polished, the way that you have like charisma to not only the camera but the audience, I feel like is necessary for that. And then also vocally, you got to be on point vocally. I feel like that's something that they always stand by, always have to do well. I feel like that's kind of like the one of the cornerstones, I would argue, within like idols. But like I said, I didn't think this was particularly bad at all. I thought it was very good. Like I said, probably if I had to kind of tier it, I'd probably put this like a little bit above average. Like I said, I didn't think it was bad at all, but there's definitely some things that I think required just a little bit more polish. But otherwise, I enjoyed it. So, let's see what we got. Kala says, to be honest, I think a lot of these bad performances weren't that bad. They just didn't have as much impact and needed practice. And Sarah says, also they did put all of these bad performances in ones they wanted to look bad right before Sung Hanbin to make him look even better, as if he needed it. I was gonna say that's fair. Hey, listen. I understand there's gonna be some scheming a little bit, but overall, I didn't think, I didn't think it was that bad. Sandra says, "Hey, sorry I'm late. I figured you guys would still be here. We are, in fact, still here." So, yeah, like I said, didn't think this was bad. I feel like especially like if we're basing it off of like artist who originally wrote it and the person who's performing it, like I said, Kai, I feel like is such a phenomenal talent. I feel like this is not that bad comparatively. Like I said, is it the best performance of the song? Most likely not, but I think it is good. Sarah says, we can't even begin to talk about how Boys Planet did everything short of rigging the vote to make sure Shambin P won. I mean, hey, that is what it is, So I feel like when we come to doing these things, it's so tough because it's like yeah, obviously there is some bias part of it, certainly, but I feel like people getting to a group and getting able to perform, I feel like is obviously the end goal. So to see them in any group now, I think is good. Sarah says they couldn't fix it now. They're mad, but that's a big L for them. I agree. Definitely agree for sure. Simon says Edna did not want the person who got first to be first. That's fair. Hey, It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, certainly. So, but we're gonna keep it moving. The next one we have is Jeon Wosek, and their song, performing their song "Criminal," which, if it is the same "Criminal" I just listened to from Lee Donghyun, I'm very curious. Kaylee says it's hard because it's like, yes, they deserve it, but I wish it was fair and not, and it's not their fault. It wasn't. I was gonna say, I agree. Yeah, I feel like you can't. I feel like you can't shift the blame on the people that are a part of it, right? You know what I mean? Like the people that auditioned to be on it, they felt that as though it is a fair competition where they were there to perform and be there for a purpose, right? So I think it's tough to look at it from, especially for me as someone who's not familiar with this. I feel like it's tough to look at it from the lens of how they would do it as a show. But I think as a person, as somebody who loves music, I feel like you can tell as an individual, like, oh yeah, this is a fucking good performer, right? You know what I mean? And like, obviously that doesn't lessen the value of whoever is in the final group for, Boys Planet, which I believe it was ZB1. Like, I think it's still great. They did what they could to get there. That's awesome. But like, obviously there's a lot of great talent. And I feel like that's ultimately, I would argue, the reason why we're doing this as a collective is that there's so many great people that have made it to other groups or have made it into groups. And I feel like that should be celebrated, certainly. So, Sarah says all the ZB1 members deserve to be there, and so did many others. It just sucks that Mnet rigged however they could. Simmons says it's unfortunate because the contestants can't control their editing on their screen time, and that's important in gaining popularity. I would agree. And Sarah says, I'm just happy that so many people have flourishing careers now. I absolutely agree. And Boys Planet deep dive to show all the talent. I was gonna say big facts. But it's good. Like I said, I'm glad that there are people that made it there because they worked hard to get there, and I feel like there are obviously people that should have been in there to make it farther, and that's it. We can't turn back the clock, certainly, but I think it's impressive. I think it's a statement to be made that they're all impressive in what they've done, and they should be happy with the accomplishments that they have made, regardless of if they were in the first part of the season or later on in the season. You know what I mean? So, good shit. And thank you, Sarah, for, highlighting all the groups we can possibly do for Boys Planet. But anyway, I went on a rant. We're going to move on to the next one before I get too behind. Let's get into Jeon Wosek and their song Criminal. So let's go. Oh my god, they're also doing the Taemin song. Holy shit.
La 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 해롭단 거 잘 알지 그 눈빛과 움직임 널 벗어나려 하지마 세뇌된 채로 고개를 끄덕여 난 말에 꼬이고 춤추는 두 발이 왠지 싫지는 않지 태초에 정해진 너라는 진리 저항할 마음 없애니 더 던져줘 우아해 날 해치는 크리미널 날 달래곤 괴롭혀 너란 목줄을 채운 날 숨을 쉴 수 없게 아프면서 황홀하잖아 날 망치는 크리미널 고개 저어보지 마 깊이 끌려가 벗어나길 원치 않아 전부 무너뜨려 날
Alright, I have to ask Sarah, okay, did they both know that they're both performing Criminal by Taemin? So, like, I'm just curious if there's like a sheet list of every person that performed, like, knew what they were performing, right? They're like, oh, we chose this song, we're performing this song. That's wild if that is the case. Like, just imagine you're auditioning for this show and someone else picks the same fucking thing. That's crazy. Sarah says probably not. It seems that the auditionees didn't even know each other's song. Okay, fair enough. That would make more sense. Because I'm just like, imagine pulling up to the audition day and like you see that somebody else is performing the same Criminal song by Taemin. I would be like, damn, I gotta do it. Kaylee says that would suck because you know you're gonna get compared to the other one. I was gonna say that would be big suck. Performance wise, like I said, not terrible. I do feel like vocally this one probably needed a little bit more coercion, a little bit. The choreography was really good. I will give him credit. I did really like the choreography more in this one. But yeah, I think it's like someone just said, it's a tall order to cover Taemin, and I feel like both of them like tried, and you know you got to give them credit. I feel like it's such a hard song to sing, just given obviously the weight that Taemin holds. I feel like that's tough. But yeah, overall, like I said, not bad, but definitely there's room for improvement certainly. So, all right, very cool. Simmons says, like his dancing more than the other one. Sarah says another one that just isn't totally awful, just not the caliber for Criminal. Fair enough. All right, cool. We're moving along. We have Matthew Seok and their cover of All I Wanna Do. Very nice. Okay, let's let this go.
To 보여 줘 if it's alright.
Ooh, his choreography movement is clean. That was good. All right. That was Matthew Seok and their cover of All I Wanna Do. I don't know who it was done by originally, but very cool. Sarah says Matthew was a street dancer before moving to Korea to train. Very nice. J Park. Okay, cool. Man, if this is like, I would assume Matt and Hyunbin are like the top two in terms of this. It makes sense. He crushed it. No notes. I generally thought it was very impressive. Like his singing voice was really clean too. Like I liked his tonality. You definitely couldn't hear him like breathing, which is impressive. Like I said, I know a lot of times when you're doing those like quick movements and stuff, you can typically hear it in the microphone, but like he was very controlled with his breathing, which was great. But yeah, this is top. Like this makes sense why he was high up, I would guess. Just because he was good. Sarah says, I think Hanmin crying backstage because he was so proud, and I'm gonna cry. Aw. And then Simmons says Matthew and Hanbin are besties as they were trainees together. And then Sarah says Matt and Hanbin were kind of made a little pet pair because they were friends prior to the show, and there was a lot of focus on their relationship. Okay. Yeah, credible performance. Like I said, hard to argue with this one, certainly. So very nice. And we're finally getting on to Hanbin, the last one. I believe, maybe, potentially. This one is beautiful. So, let's check it out. He is not my mortal enemy. Oh, lots left. Sorry. All right, this was Tokyo, Japan's performance of Shine. I don't know who it was originally done by, but Sarah says everyone singing along in the crowd. That was cute. I did hear that. That was cute. Pentagon. Okay, cool. Thank you, chat. Controversial, slightly. I feel like this song may potentially be out of at least the two in the back vocal range. I feel like there is definitely some moments of vocal struggle. So I don't know if it's maybe just kind of the like key, but it's definitely a hard listen, not because I don't think that they could hit those notes, but it's definitely like one of those things where you're just like, man, this is just not even in their key. Like they're really straining their voices to get up to those notes. That's tough. So I don't know who suggested this song, but they did a very bad job of figuring out what ranges they're in. I do like their choreography. Their choreography definitely stood out to me. Like they had big smiles on their face. They were like really great. I feel like I was definitely feeling the positive energy from their performance, but I was just like, damn, if the range was lower, I think if they performed this song in a lower range, I think they absolutely could have crushed this song, honestly, but just was a little tough. Sarah says, I don't know if you saw, but okay, so this is a big moment because the writer, producer, and original artist of the song was also competing. Oh my god, that's wild. Okay, I did not see that, Sarah. Thanks for pointing it out. That's, oh boy. That's that is crazy. Oh, holy shit. I'm curious what their Huey cried. Okay, that would make sense. I was gonna ask how they felt, but like I said, I think if it was in their range, I think this could have been done a little bit better. But kudos, obviously, for that big moment. That's great. But yeah, not that. Not that I will take offense to like the actual members that performed it in this unit, because obviously this is a tough song to sing, and if not even in their range, so hopefully they have an opportunity to no pun intended shine in another song. So Sarah says like fully broke down into tears, saying he was so honored that everyone loved the song. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a great song. Excited to listen to this one. Since it's an iconic song, but that's tough. Sarah says anybody having to cover a Huey song vocal part is just screwed. Yeah, I can imagine. That was high up there. Kelly says it sucked because it's bad, but if they did a song that was lower, they probably could have done it better. Probably. That was my sentiment that I took away from it. So, like I said, we're not gonna be hating, but. Anyway, we're going to keep it moving. The next one we have is Red Star and their performance of Noo-noo Nana. I do know this song. So let's go. Let's get into it.
I'm trying to give you something more.
I'm trying to give you something more.
So come with me and fly away, away, away.
Come with me and fly away,
away. 그래서 난 노노나나.
Woo!
노노나나.
계속.
Put 'em up in the air. 나나나나. Like this, 나나나. Hey, 나나나.
해줄 의미 없이 우리 텐션 막 beast mode. 바람은 나지 않아 더럽게 떠면서 무대 위에서 counter. 샤라 숨쉬는 눈빛 motion.
누가 뭐라든 간에 전혀 신경 안 써 있어 time. 터져버릴 듯한 에너지 비공가. Whatever you want 맘대로 터뜨려. 이게 우리 뭘. We don't give away. Don't give away.
He's got a good tone.
떠들여 데이터간 밤에.
뭐라 하든 if you
그래서 난 누누나나 누나 Come on give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some more 나는 눈치 따위 난 몰래 뭐라던 That's right 누가 뭘 하던 이대로 누누나나 누나나
그래서 난 누누나나 누누나나
Down for me. Yeah.
물어봐 빌리 yeah
Ooh, all right, all right, all right, okay. I like this. This was Red Start and their cover of Nunu Nana, originally done by Jesse. Love that. Sarah said, so you've heard this group before. This is 4 or 5 members of a TIOT. Very nice. Yeah, I picked up on some familiar faces. This was great. This is a great cover. I was you know what? I was kind of surprised because I was like, they're doing a Jesse song, like they got to go hard with the rapping, and I feel like they did a great job of that. Like I think the energy was there. As well as that, I think vocally this was also really good too. Like genuinely really surprised at like if I did not know this was their original Jesse song, I would have almost thought I would have almost instinctually been like, is this original? Like are they doing an audition with an original song? That's crazy. Because it kind of like obviously there is a familiarity to it since I know the song, but like I feel like they shaped it in a way where like if in some alternate universe, Nunu Nana was originally done by a boys group and not Jesse. So I feel like that's a very high compliment. But I love that Sarah says they wrote it themselves. I love it. I think the remix on it was great. Like I said, feels very, very on point. So, Cinnamon says, there's a reason they stayed together and debuted for real. I'm glad because they got the talent for sure. Kaylee says, one thing I wish that the rapping was more accepted or shown sometimes in survival shows. Singing is just as important. I agree. I think there's a good, for me, I feel like at least within K-pop, I'm kind of at that point where I'm just like, I love a good vocalist because I feel like there's so many great like vocalists that pop off, but I'm also like equally as intrigued by like great rap tone or like great like technicality in terms of rapping, that I find that equally as impressive as well. So very nice, very nice. Cinnamon counteracted that and says, it made me so upset that the Signal song, why do you have rappers trying to hit these notes? Fair enough. And Sarah says, yeah, Boys Planet didn't prioritize rap at all in the finale. There were only 4 rappers. Oof. Island did the same thing. Yeah, that's tough, but like I feel like to me it's like so interesting because like going through some of the groups, there's so many great vocalists that are also rappers, so I feel like there's a good mix, so I love to see it. But yeah, this was kudos. I like it. So let's keep it moving. The next one is Osaka, and they're doing 0 for Conduct. So let's check it out.
너의 언내 알았어를 손대 저리게 내보내 귀여운 연습할래 난 대가에 다르지 알 그래 깊이 원하네 저 여자 화색이 덜어보인 죄다 기생오라비 전 티나는 고라지 니들 감차는 사이 훨씬 급은 연애 왔지 나로 한게 아냐 마초처럼 완전 와해 이 무대는 내 구역이야 구요이 나도 해 쟤네 진짜 멋이 뭔지 몰라 저기 형편 없는 몸짓 좀 봐 스테이지에 옆에 노는 게 탑 Break it roll, ready go 오늘 그룹은 핸즈 roll Roll Okay, yeah, yeah Put hands up, roll Everybody say yeah, roll 멀쩡한 날이 없지 왔다리가 다리나 사가지 바가지야 갤러리 갤러리야 오늘부로 품 핸즈 왔다리가 다리나 사가지 바가지야 갤러리 갤러리야
Ooh. All right, very nice. That was Osaka's cover of 0 for Conduct. Very nice. Man, this was solid. I like this. This was a vibe. love the energy. I feel like the energy was on point. Definitely like I know we were talking about rapping, very timely. The rapping on this was incredible. I think all of them really did a great job. The performance on this was really strong. Yeah, no notes, very good. I enjoyed this one a lot. Some comments here. Biscuit said 0 for conduct. Love it. Kaylee says, I hear some of them, I think, wow, his tone would be so great rapping, but never get pushed or encouraged in that way. And then Sarah says, this group has the trainee with the longest training time, Kita, with almost 10. Holy shit. That is wild. And Jazz says, YG and Rain did him so dirty for real. Oof. Yeah, they all said, like I said, they all sounded incredible. Hopefully they are in better places now, but I liked it. This was amongst my favorites tonight. So very nice. We are keeping it moving. The next one is Shanghai and their cover of Reveal. So check it out. Oh, a boys song. Okay.
I'm falling in love.
Yeah, slow down.
난 네가 보인다 다가가려다 또 하나의 태양에 발을 멈춘다 널 빛에 품져 나의 맘을 가려 baby I'm done for your love
언젠가는 부대지 앞에 널 show yeah 네 미소를 가진 그 사람이 부러워
행복한 널 보니 이미 game's over lady
I'm down for your love
너의 그 사랑이 쏟아보지 못한 만큼
덜 살아나도
맘소리가 lonely night
이 숨막히는 어둠 속에 나를 가둘게 너를 위해
오랜 못 버티지만
잠시만 down for your love down for your love down for your love
I'm down for your love down for your love
down for your love
네 세상 조심할 say yeah yeah 이제 내가 되라 hey yeah yeah
I'm down for your love my baby
또 다른 날 깨우는 밤
매일 밤 down for you
어둠 속에 나를 가릴 테니 No be my way for you
네 맘을 비추려다 내 맘이 비치거리지만
No more I'm down for you 찾은 꿈이 들이 울 테니 내게 일러와 just for you 모든 걸 드러내봐 이제는 모습을 더 바라봐
Ooh. This one was tough. This one was a tough one. This was Reveal by The Boys, performed by Shanghai. Very similarly to Tokyo, Japan, I feel like, and I think Sarah also said it. This was a tough one. I think range-wise, definitely out of their range. I would say maybe the only exception would probably be the guy that has like the gray and black hair combo here in the back right-hand corner. I feel like he was pretty much the only one that I could tell that, like, I wouldn't say it was like perfect, but definitely was more comfortable range-wise. This one was definitely like, I feel like they could have had a song that either they could have done the song in a different register, or I feel like they could have chosen a different song maybe that would have fit all of them more on the nose. Because I feel like this song, like, wow, I feel like there's so much heart in their performance. I just feel like sometimes, heart can carry you a good bit, but obviously talent and being able to perform the songs well, I feel like is also an equally as big component to this. But yeah, like I said, nothing against the members of this group, excuse me. It's just unfortunate, So, like I said, no hard feelings, no bad blood, but wish they'd probably gotten a better song. I think that would have been sick. But we are keeping it moving. We have Sarah says that this one is hard to watch. Wonky is fully having a panic attack. Oh God. Let's check it out. Another boy song. Oh boy. Oh wait, this is WakeOne. Sorry. Sorry. Jumped a little ahead.
하나로 시작되는 이야기 따스하게 번진 멜로디 네가 내 계절이 됐어 이 순간 모든 게 all mine 살며시 웃는 널 따라 흩날린 내 세상에 터지는 불꽃놀이 너에게 다 보여줄게
Like a Betty.
Bloom bloom pop 너와 꽃이 피어나 물들여와 와 내게로 와 Boom boom pop 내 맘속을 전해줘 와 빛으로 와 눈부시게 피어오른 you 기다려 날 기다려 너로 그린 사랑이란 꿈 이대로 깨고 싶지 않은 이유 Boom heart 너와 있는 이 순간 사랑이 와 사람 와 이대로 우리
All right. This is WakeOne debuting and then performing Bloom by the Boys. Sarah says this is a WakeOne debut trainees, both members of TO1. Okay. They were both so unhappy with their performance. I felt so bad. Yeah, you could I feel like you could tell it was written all over their face. I will agree it's tough to watch. I feel like, you know, whenever you have to see someone go through kind of a trial like that, I feel like it's a difficult song to, you know, difficult song to sit through, but I think I feel like to have the strength to finish and obviously get through it, I feel like is really impressive. So I'm glad that they're doing better now, but that definitely was a little bit of a tougher performance to sit through. So, but yeah, I'm glad that they powered through and did it. So good for them. Sarah says they're both happy, very happy now. Can't express that more. So happy. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad they're happy in their groups now. That's this was a little rough patch here, but all right, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one we have is individual trainees, and we're doing Mirotic. So I have listened to this one, so excited to check this one out. Let's give it a listen. Happy Pride Month.
시작은 달콤하게 평범하게 나에게 끌려 언제나 그랬듯이 먼저 말을 걸어와 모든 가능성 열어둬 사랑은 못다 이미 쑤시고 red ocean 날 broken my loose again 알잖아 지루한 걸 조금 다쳐도 넌 괜찮아 넌 내게 빠져 넌 내게 미쳐 헤어날 수 없어 I got you under my skin 넌 나를 원해 넌 내게 빠져 넌 내게 미쳐 넌 나의 노예 I got you under my skin 한 번의 키스와 함께 날이 선 듯한 강한 이끌림 두 번의 키스 뜨겁게 터져버릴 것 같은 내 심장 Yeah 너를 가졌어 You know you got it Yeah Woo! Come on, come on, come on I got you under my skin 난널 집에 가지고 나봐 내 주문에 넌 다시 가려내 I got you under my skin 넌 나를 원해 넌 내게 빠져 넌 내게 미쳐 넌 내게 노예 I got you under my last kiss.
Ooh, okay. Very nice. This was TVXQ's Mirotic, performed by individual trainees. Very nice, very nice. Kaylee says, okay, but making them do the high note is a little mean. It's like known for being hard. Yeah, it sounded like a struggle, but hey, listen, again, powering through. I'd love to see it. Sarah says before Jiwon before the performance, I kiss boys during the performance. Boys almost kiss and everyone is shocked. Guys, sky is blue. That's crazy. No, I thought this perform at first I'm like without any context, I was like why why is Sarah saying happy Pride Month? I was like, obviously I understand it's Pride Month, but I was like confused because I was like, I don't understand. I was like maybe they're a little spicy in this performance, but I didn't associate it with it. And then I'm looking at some of the like chat comments of like, oh, this is like it had like sparkles the way that they edited it, and I was just like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. So at first I had no idea why Sarah mentioned it, and now getting the contextual clues, it makes sense now. So performance wise, I thought this was good. I think the choreography was really good. Like they definitely were giving it the work, certainly. Vocally, I thought this was very solid as well. Other than that high note, I feel like that high note must be incredibly difficult to hit, and probably for good reason. But yeah, overall, thought it was a good performance. Like I said, I didn't understand the spiciness behind it, but now now getting the behind the scenes look a little bit, now it makes more sense. So, good stuff. Simon says Jiwon was iconic because he was a BL actor before this. Okay. Sarah says fork found in kitchen. Nailed it on the head here. And Cinnamon says, honestly, you guys see the performance in the show because it's so funny. If you do have a clip of that, post in Discord. I will check it out and give my thoughts on it. But Sarah says the whole lead up to it and everything being like Jiwon is so sexy, then this performance and the reaction, it was a whole lot. I was gonna say it makes sense now, but I think if you just told me, hey, happy Pride Month, and I click on the video and I ain't getting like gay sparkles or anything, then I would have never known the difference. But now I know, so makes sense. But kudos. But anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. We have Takuto and their performance of Instead of Saying Goodbye. Very nice. Let's vibe. Let's check it out. Curious. Oh,
Takuto,
I don't know who you are.
Takuto.
Give it up, yo. Like this, come on, yo.
hey man, I gotta give it to him. The recovery on that.
무슨 말을 하려고 그러고 있니 도대체 무슨 말이 길에 말을 못하니 말을 하면 혹시 내가 그 말으로 버릴까봐 못하는 말이라면 그게 사실이라면 그래 차라리 말을 하지마 그러면 내가 알아서 알아들을 테니 살짝 웃으며 돌아서 줄 테니 네가 나의 곁을 떠나 다른 사람에게로 간다면 네가 떠난다면 네 곁에 있는 것보다 다른 사람의 품이 좋다면 네가 좋다면 언제라도 좋으니 한요일이란 말 대신 작은 미소 하나만 주면 돼 그냥 그런데 너는 그냥 그런데
I like this. All right. This is Takuto and their performance of Instead of Saying Goodbye. This was great. I'm sad he got 0 by rate. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I was surprised he got 0. I fucked with this. I'd at least give him 1 star. I feel like fucking come out the gate with a backflip, and then like, listen, the landing wasn't the best, but I feel like he cooked with it. So I don't know how you could give him 0. That just seems like offensive at this point. So. Kaylee says he recovered good, not bad singing, just breath control really in practice, and I've seen worse dancing. I was gonna say not that bad. Sid says he gave 1000% effort to. Sarah says they cut the fall out of this episode. We didn't even see it. Kyle says bro deserved more than the houses. I was gonna say, yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, the man was cooking. Justice for Takuto. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my only commentary for Takuto. Justice for Takuto. # justice for Takuto. That's what I need. I feel that's what I need. But oh god, that's bad. I feel like 0 is just depressing in the worst way. So, Takuto, if you're watching this, I stan you. So. And I respect it. So, all right, we're moving on to the next one. We are going to be doing 143 Entertainment, and they're performing Replay. So, let's check it out. Ooh, shiny classic. All right. I'm scared.
누난 너무 예뻐서 남자들이 가만 놔둬 흔들리는 그녀의 맘 사실 알고 있어 그녀에게 사랑은 한순간의 느낌일 뿐 뭐라 해도 나에겐 삶의 everything 아마 그녀는 어린 내가 부담스러운가 봐 날 바라보는 눈빛이 말해주잖아 And I think I'm gonna hate it girl 끝이 다가오는 걸 가슴이 말해준다 누가 뭐래도 누난 너무 예뻐 그녀를 보면 나는 미쳐 하지만 이젠 지쳐 Replay 추억이 맘을 핥혀 아파서 이제 맘을 고쳐 다가온 이별에는 Replay
All right. That was 143 Entertainment's performance of SHINee's Replay. Not bad. I feel like if I feel like a lot of people in chat were saying they're not 2 stars better than Takuto, I will die on this hill. Kaylee joined in. Sarah says they aren't bad. It just wasn't that. It was just the 1-2 punch of Takuto getting nothing and them getting 2 sets me off. I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like Takuto was not that bad. # justice for Takuto. I think that this was solid. Like I said, is it one of the worst things I've heard tonight? No. I just think it is just solid. You know what I mean? There's obviously potential for it to be, I think it's honestly potential for them to do better. There's definitely like some moments where I was like, ooh, okay, it's a little rocky, but like not bad. Choreography was smooth. Like there's definitely some reasonings as to maybe why I would understand why they would give them 2 stars, but I feel like if Takuto got 1 star, then I could maybe justify them getting 2 stars, but I feel like this isn't that. I feel like it's very nominal. Obviously can't turn back the hands of time here, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad. Like I said, performance-wise, solid. I was vibing. No, Santa says Brandon is too nice. That's why I could never be a judge, honestly. Most likely because I could never be harsh. I don't like to be, honestly. So this is probably my hill I'll die on. But all right, very cool. We're gonna keep it moving. We have WakeOne K and their performance of The Real. Cal says opposite of Simon Cowell. Yeah, I feel like I'm more like a Paula Abdul, you know. So let's get into it with that commentary. Let's go. That is an old reference, yeah. I am old, Sarah.
발걸음은 나 덤디리덤덤디리덤덤 우리 즐겁게 살아 난 누구보다 한 번에 가해 내 신념을 지켜 누구든지 고이 모셔 따뜻하게 눈빛은 keep it up 이것이 무엇이야 Wake up my plan 다 새겨들었다 우리 집을 봐 다리다리다리다라 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 우리 춤을 봐 숙여라 익을수록 야 입을 떠올리지 마라 익을수록 머리 숙여라 익을수록 예 노래 잘 배우나라 익을수록 숙여라 익을수록 볼지 않으려면 시간이 지날수록 늘어나는 관념 태도는 정중해 자신과 신념을 위해 매 순간에 신고받아 춤 들어가요 에이 Let's go 우리 춤을 봐 wow
Ichika, pull through. Come through in Discord. Come through in chat.
우리 춤을 봐 wow 이게 바로 멋입니다.
All right, this is probably going to be amongst the top here for sure. All right, this was The Real by ATEEZ, and it was done by WakeOne. Very nice. This was a very damn good performance. I like this. Obviously, huge ATEEZ fan. I love ATEEZ's stuff. This was good. Performance-wise, like I said, choreography was super smooth, clean. Like, the movement was awesome. They did a great job on that. Vocally, this was also really impressive, too. Like I said, I feel like this kind of is a great combination of great performance / great vocals. So, really enjoyed this a lot. This is another really good good performance. I don't know who I preferred in the song. I think honestly they all sounded great. I don't know if I have somebody that like stood out to me more. I think collectively as a unit they sounded very solid. So definitely amongst my favorite auditions that I saw tonight. 100%. I feel like they had the confidence. So very nice. So some commentary here. Let's see. Simmons says, Park Han-bin, the leader. You are WakeOne president. Tare smiles like Julia Roberts. Okay, I need context. And then Simmons says, they for real acted like a debut group. I was going to say agreed. They had a charisma to them. I appreciate that. Sarah says, Ichika just liked my story reply. He knows what we're doing. Hey, listen. Ichika, pull through. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So it says, Moonjung, I love you. Let's see. Everyone, Sarah's scared. Sarah also said, did you see him smile? That's Julia Roberts. Okay, which one? If I gotta go to a frame, then I don't even know. I'd have to look. I have to look for a still shot. On the far right. Okay. I'll have to look. I'll find. I'll go back and watch this. I'll have to see. That's interesting. I wouldn't have put those two together, but Sarah said, Kyle says Sarah's right. I totally see it. His smile is everything. I'll send photos on Discord. Okay, fair enough. I'll thumbs up or thumbs down if I think it's true or not. But I believe you. We're gonna keep it moving. The next one we've got is Lee Yotek and their performance of Shutdown. So check it out. Oh, a Blackpink song. Okay. Whip it, whip it, whip it.
컴백이 아니었던 난적 고객들이 돌아 진정해 보랏빛처럼 drip drip freeze up no sign you shut it down 저 빛은 내린 머리 위로 don't trip 편하게 앉아있어 just sit down pray for my downfall many have tried baby catch my Lamborghini go When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈. Whip it, whip it. It's black and pink, what's the sundown? When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈. Shutdown. Whip it, whip it.
Pulling out the harmonies and the falsettos.
Keep watching me shut it down. Keep watching me shut it down.
I got no notes. This is great. I genuinely am just like, wow, this is good. All right, that is Lee Yotek and their performance of Blackpink's Shutdown. Very nice. Sarah says that this is Pentagon's leader and acclaimed actor, producer, and songwriter. This and Hanbin were the only auditions shown in their entirety. And Cinnamon says if he arranged this to, if I'm correct. And Sarah confirmed that. And then Kaylee says, you can tell he's experienced. I was going to say that right out the gate, there is an aura. You know what I mean? I feel like there's levels to confidence. And I feel like he knew his shit. He knew his shit don't stink. You know what I mean? So I thought this was great. Like I said, no notes. This is a phenomenal performance. I don't know if he went far in Boys Planet. I'm sure I'll find out, but it makes sense. But Kaylee says Pentagon debuted in 2016 for context. That is impressive. Sarah says this is also the last audition on the list that was shown in the audition episodes. The rest after this were never aired, which is a major disadvantage for the trainees. And Cinnamon says he made it through to the final. Very nice. Okay. Very, very cool. All right, Sarah, we've got 9 more videos and then we migrate back over to the PowerPoint, right? Okay, perfect. All right, let us keep moving. The next one we've got is the first one and their performance of Attention. I'm curious if this is New Jeans Attention. Maybe. I don't know. Kelly says he's like one of the sweetest too. So, very nice. These are at least 2 more members of 9i. Very nice. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. I was right. Nice. Okay.
You and me 내 맘이 보이지 잠을 쳐다봐 가까이 다가가 You see
One, two, three 용기가 생겼지 이미 아는 눈치만 여기 You see
여기 보이니
Looking for attention 너에게서 확실하게 나로 만들겠어 Ay.
Drop the question, drop the question. Want attention, want attention.
You give me butterflies, you know 내 맘은 온통 paradise
꿈에서 깨워주지만
You got me looking for attention
Ooh.
Got me looking for attention.
Ay, ay.
가끔은 정말 헷갈리지만 분명한 건
Got me looking for attention
A-D-T-E-N-T-I-O attention.
Ooh, I like that descending melody in the back. That's cool.
A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O attention is what I want
A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O attention is what I want.
A-T-T-E-N-T-I-O
You got me looking for attention.
Very nice, very nice. All right. This was the first one and their audition of Attention, originally done by New Jeans. Very cool. This was okay. I will say, knowing how much I love New Jeans, I still love New Jeans a ton. I've listened to this song I don't even know how many times at this point now. And at first I was like, the production and like the arrangement and composition of the song was very interesting. I think it kind of threw me off a little bit because I just am used to the original. So at first I was like, I don't know if this is really like, I don't know if this is really gonna fit, right? Like I was kind of a little off. But I think as we got into the chorus and the song progressed more, I was like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing what they're trying to do. Like they definitely switched it up. And, you know, I got to give them a lot of credit because I feel like it's not trying to be the original, right? And so I think that in that capacity, I think they did a great job of making it seem differentiated from the original track. But I also liked a lot of the different vocal tones as well. I think there is a lot more room for them to grow vocally. And I think they did a great job with this song, despite my love of the original. I think this is a really cool rendition of it. So I enjoyed this a lot. I at first I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but I think it definitely hit me with a 180 and appreciated it a ton. So this was solid. I enjoyed it. Cinnamon says, I love Siamon's vocal tone. Always have, always will. Very nice. This was great. Like I said, was very shocked at the remix, but I think it came out really well. So very nice. We're going to keep it moving. The next one is Individual Trainees and their performance of Lullaby. So check it out. Oh, I got 7 song. Okay. Oh, I like this one.
한낮에 꾸는 꿈 믿기지 않을 뿐 여전히 난 거짓말 같아 눈 떠보면 너의 풍도의 숨 Girl 네가 부르는 내 이름
뭐든 널 거치면 아름다워져 새로 피어나
Boom 놀라워 너뭘좀 알아 갈수록 더 falling 두근거리면 멈추지 않아 매일 더해
Girl 속삭이는 모든 언어들
감미롭게 날 파고들어 막을 수 없어 막을 생각 없어 계속해서 널 찾고 있는 건 나야 한시도 떨어질 수 없어 계속해서 널 곁에 두고 싶어
달콤한 목소리로 가득 채워줘
지금 이 순간 say it yeah Hey whoa sweet baby it's magical sweet don't know why 매일매일 더 원해 sweet baby it's magical 깨어날 수 없어 너에게서 Sweet talk to me babe it's magical
All right. This was individual trainees performing Lullaby by GOT7. Um, Sarah says this is another relatively strong performance. I have no idea why they didn't air. I feel like this is tough. Like, I love this song. This is probably amongst my favorite GOT7 songs. I feel like GOT7 collectively, you have to have this level of swagger to you, right? Like, I feel like they're the type of performance that you're like, when I think of this song, I'm thinking like, this has to have the swag, you know? And I think in terms of their like choreography, the performance of it, I think they absolutely brought it, like, definitely. I do feel like in terms of vocals, there's definitely a little bit of work that I feel like needs to be done, especially in like more of those higher registers. You could tell they were kind of reaching for some of those tones, but it wasn't bad. Like I said, I think this is a very solid performance. But I do feel like I would have loved for it to be like a little bit more. I feel like maybe register wise it was a little out there, right? Like I didn't think it was bad, but I do feel like they could have. I feel like maybe register wise it was a little tough, but beyond that, I didn't think it was. I didn't think they did a pretty bad job. I feel like I said very similarly to the comments that were made about Taemin. I feel like it's kind of similarly where like you gotta bring your A game, you know. So I think this was a very solid performance. Nothing too terrible about this one, certainly. But all right. Sarah has an announcement. It looks like they said besties. They have announced Hyolyn as a vocal master for Boys Planet 2. Nice. And plus Seokhyun and One Star. Ooh, okay. That's cool. Very nice. Simmons says, I'm not sure I've watched that performance since 2023. Ah, very nice. All right. Not too bad. We are getting into the next one. This is Hyogo and their performance of Maniac, which is Stray Kids. So check it out.
Let's go! 천사인 쫓아도 힘좀 빼 즐거운 놈이 서두른새 악기 뿌리면 다 똑같지 눈은 아무 속여 호체는 푸르네 자신이 가신이 접지 눈 한번 깜빡이고 빼 다시 세상이 좋아 정산이 코스프레 준비 펑 매셔 마인드 정신아 베코 프로토타입 내 속은 언제나 freaking monster 유행하던 친절함은 초리지 날 버튼 내 돈수 왜이라 시원하게 욕게 돋아 먹음 펌핑 숨진하게만 부탁해 크게 다친 오이가 계속되면 거절러내 터시 일러내 도지 워밍 나서 빠진 것처럼 미쳐 매니악 핑 돌아버리겠지 매니악 나서 빠진 것처럼 미쳐 매니악 하하 매니악 나서 빠진 것처럼 무슨 매니악 핑 돌아버리겠지 매니악 비정상 투성이 죽다 매니악
All right. Very nice. This was Hyogo's performance of Maniac, originally done by Stray Kids. Very nice. Tough song. I feel like this. I agree with Sarah. Another tough, iconic song to cover. I feel like if you're a Stray, Stay fan, I feel like this one was. I think this was solid. Like I said, I definitely feel like there was definitely some things that needed to be critiqued a little bit or corrected, but nothing that was like out there where I was like, ooh, they definitely were taking on such a milestone. But overall, I thought it was pretty solid. Like I said, choreography was really good. I think their vocal performances were pretty solid as well. But overall, I wasn't like jumping for joy where I was like, damn, this is so good. But at the same point, I wasn't like, oh, this is bad. Like, I just feel like it's, for most of actually a good majority of the auditions, I feel like a large majority of them are just sitting perfectly in the middle. stuff that you can work on that I'm sure they have. So very curious to see, who's putting the work in future Boys Planet episodes. So also it looks like Sarah says baby Haru, and then it looks like Haru of X Love now. Very nice. That's cool. Glad they're a part of a group, which again we're gonna be covering most of them, if not all of them. So excited. All right. We have We Entertainment and their performance of Love Scenario. So check it out.
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로디만 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다
우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 페이지를 넘기면 조용히 막을 내리죠
에이 괜찮지만 않아 이별을 마주한다는 거 오늘이었던 우리의 어제 더는 내일이 없다는 거 아프긴 해도 더 끌었음 상처가 떠나니까 yeah. 널 사랑했고 사랑받았으니 난 이걸로 됐어 yeah.
나 살아가면서 가끔씩 떠오를 기억 그 안에 네가 있다면 그거면 충분해 사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다
Very nice, very nice. All right, that was Love Scenario, originally done by Icon, but performed by We Entertainment. Very nice. Don't have much to base this off of since we haven't done Icon yet. But I thought the performance of it was very solid. Like I said, I feel like a lot of the Boys Planet stuff right now in terms of auditions, I've been kind of just like middle of the road, not bad. Definitely feel like there could have been. I feel like it's hard to. Some of the songs, it's like I know how they sound, and it's like easy to be like, oh well, they could have fixed this or something, or maybe they could have performed this part a little bit better. Not knowing this song, I feel like kind of bites me in the ass a little bit, but I think their vocal performance was very solid, pertaining to the original, I'd imagine. But yeah, choreography was good. Like I said, I don't have a lot of negative thoughts flowing through the brain right here for it. So we'll definitely have to check it out. Kaylee says, God, we need to do Icon, and everyone's backing that up. So maybe potentially in the future we'll do it sooner than later. Very nice. Jazz says, is one of these guys an actor? I feel like I've seen him before. And Sarah says he is with the blue jacket. Okay, very nice. All right, we're going to keep it moving. The next one we have on the playlist is Higher Music and their performance of Freak. So check it out.
Every moment climax 터지는 빵빠레 Let's get freaky, let's get freaky
Yeah 지구 좀만까지 D-1 하루아침에 명종위기 중 왕좌 놀라 뒤집어져 사람들 쎄 우리 다 큰일 났어 어차피 멀리 도망 못 가 내 마이크로폰이 너의 컨트롤 타이 지구의 주인공이 어딨어 시민이 모두가 엑스트라 쑥대 버치된 그거를 장악해 너를 결박하던 이성의 끈을 잘라내 경범되고 춤판을 벌여 뼛속까지 엔터테이너 무아지경의 과몰입 블러리 양쪽 눈에서 레이저 우와 리퍼블릭 오브 코리아 여기 내 알고리즘의 종점 Who cares 전부 한패거리야 소동이 벌어져도 즐겨 우린 괴짜 Let's go 하예 하예 다 됐고 즐겨 우린 괴짜 하예 아예 아예 터지는 빵빠레 줄줄이 마탱이 가네
즐겨 우린 괴짜
즐겨 우린 괴짜
Very nice, very nice. This was Higher Music, and their performance of Freak, and that was originally done by Zico. Very nice. I haven't heard much Zico material other than I think maybe 2 songs. I know Zico did a song with Jenny. And I love that song, so we'll have to do Zico at some point as well. But I thought this was good. I would definitely like to listen to the original of this song. I thought it was really solid. I love the energy they brought. It definitely feels like I don't know if these are people that have been trainees for a little bit, but definitely seems like they were more ready, if that makes sense. I thought the performance was really good. Definitely brought the energy as well, charisma. So very nice, very nice. Sarah says both of these guys got 4 stars. This never got aired, and Park Ji-ho rapped about being erased from these first 2 episodes in a later episode. Yeah, I feel like that's surprising because this is like I would put this in the like if I have to put these in tiers. There's some that I was like, damn, this is really good. Probably top tier for me. There's a good bit in like that, like better than average tier list, which I feel like this might be on the top, higher end of that, even into the, I think this is really damn good. And then obviously I have a majority of the ones right now where it's just like, you know what, it's not bad. It definitely needs a little bit of work, but I'm surprised this one didn't air because this one seems like, in my personal preference, I feel like this one would have done well. So that's a little shocking. So Confusion itself says, wow, he did amazing. Kaylee says, I love Zico, so I know we probably will wind up doing it. I promise a lot, but I feel like we can get to it eventually. Simmons says, I feel like Yedems gets 4 stars too, and it wasn't aired either. Kaylee says, plus I feel like they had a stage presence too, which can be hard. I was going to say, they definitely had the charisma for sure. Yeah, I don't. Sarah says probably for the drama, so that makes sense on which they choose to air and which they don't choose. But yeah, overall, good performance. I like this. All right, we're moving on to the next one. This is Wumuti and Un Village. So, and then Sarah says the next one is 2 members of Emotion. Anyway, let's check it out. Is there? I have Wumuti as the next one, so yes, this one goes next. Okay, it's top media. All right, I can't fucking read. Wumuti's next though. Check it out. Brain's getting cooked.
너를 줬던 그림자 oh, why? Who are you looking for? Here I can take us home 저 너머로 보이던 mistake 난 잠시 접어놔 눈을 감아 rockabye oh bye oh bye 너를 줬던 그림자 oh why Who are you looking for?
All right. Very nice. This was Who, originally done by Moonbin and Sanha, and performed by, oh God, Top Media. Very nice. Very nice. Um, I thought this was very good. I liked whoever had the blonde hair here. He had like a really good like mid low range tone that had like some warmth to it. Really solid. Huan Yi, very nice. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, he sounded great. And that's not to detract to whoever is to his left. They're both great. I think they really played well with each other, and it would make sense considering they're in the same group now. But they had good chemistry, and I feel like this song highlighted both of them very well. Again, I probably put this in like middle to higher tier. I enjoyed this a lot. I think there was definitely some moments where I was like, okay, definitely could use a little work, but overall, I felt like it was. I thought they were both really good, overall. So good shit. Jazz says another group with a shitty company. Oof, that's rough. Sarah also said they had the longest tenure of idols of all the debuted idols on the show. Oh my god! Wow. Okay. Respect. But very nice. All right. Well, now we are finally getting into Wumuti and their performance of UN Village, which I know who it is done by originally. I just can't remember, but let's check it out. Baekhyun.
내비게이션 백서당 어린이 공원으로 누리고 엑셀을 밟아 나만 알고 있던 그곳은 나 모두가 올라가려 하겠지 어디서든지 everywhere anywhere 얼마든지 보여 Girl we need to be romantic on me 필요한 시점이야 이미 알고 있었다고 해도 yeah 처음 느끼는 기분으로 널 리드할게 only know on me 나에게만 너의 특별한 시간을 보낼 수 있는 자격에 있단 걸 난 알아 I know that I know that I know 그래 우린 지금 한남동 UN Village Here 언덕의 스타를 보면 You and me You and Village 나란히 우린 달을 보면 You and me relax and chillin'
All right. This was Wumuti from Wumuti and performing UN Village by Baekhyun. Very nice. Sarah says Wumuti was the second Uyghur person to debut as a K-pop idol, the first to debut solo. Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, is Wumuti is a part of X-Love? I feel like that name sounds so familiar. That's why I was scratching my head a little bit. But if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. Okay, yep. All right, awesome. I'm doing the. I feel like I'm fucking Charlie from It's Always Sunny with all the wires. You know, like I'm figuring it out, I'm getting it, guys. But no, I thought this was great. I will say to Wamuti's credit, they sound so much better now. Like obviously, they sound good here. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like you could tell the amount of time that they had put into singing because it definitely reflects for sure. So I thought this was good. Like I said, performance was very solid. Like I probably put this in again that like definitely very good, but needs a little bit of work. I feel like for me, like Wumuti is incredible here, but now knowing some of the stuff that they're doing in X Love, I feel like it definitely raises the bar a little bit. But yeah, I do like what they're doing now in this audition, but I feel like just obviously knowing future tense of what's to come, I feel like it's just so much more impressive. So Sarah says, I've heard multiple stories from audition day of multiple trainees thinking that he was white and speaking to him in English, and he responded in fluent Mandarin, and they were very surprised. I could see that. I could see that. And Sarah says 3 of the 4 members of X Love were on Boys Planet. That makes sense. I know you talked about it, and now I'm putting the pieces together, so it makes sense. Kaylee says Brandon has that board with the strings connected to everything. Simon says, to be honest, he might need that. Time to go get a whiteboard, I guess, or something. So we'll figure it out. Anyway, very cool, very cool. This was good. I like this performance. So let's keep it moving. We have Wang Zihao and their performance of Veil. Ooh, okay. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Illuminate the room when you walk in. Tell me all your secrets, you really gotta be right as I am so down. Got me feeling like a midget in a dream was before. Back it up, back it up, back it up, crazy. You can park it in, you can take it up. Through your window, I say some both that how you can play no tricks on me. 生命动来，独特山海传说。Oh oh yeah, mask off, mask off. Baby, take it off your face. Feel too ready to be fake. Mask off, need it right now, can't wait. Baby, take it off your face. Mask off.
Very nice, very nice. That was Wang Xiao and their performance of Veil. Very nice. Sarah says this is a Chinese song by Lei. He also was the only trainee to perform in Chinese. Very nice. This was great. I feel like he absolutely demolished this performance. I loved his choreography. The choreography on this was impeccable. The movement, the fluidity, the just like this sounds weird, but like the hard edges, there's just something about it where like he was very like direct in the way that he like moved his arms and stuff and like legs and everything. Gotta give it a lot of credit, because like shit, I know I couldn't do that, but like so impressive to see. So really good. And also just with that much movement and still being able to perform the song with like such ease, I think is impressive. So this is definitely, I think, like maybe bottom tier of like, holy shit, this was really good, but like still in there. I would say it was one of my favorite performances tonight for sure. Just knew what he like I said before, when people have that level of charisma. I feel like this is very much one of those songs where I was like, damn, the charisma's on point with this. So very nice, very nice. Simmons says every time I see him, I just think of his Lei performance. I would assume that's what you're referencing. So and then also said not airing him is a crime. Oh my god, I would agree. Very nice, very nice. All right. Oh no, he meant Law. Oh, okay. I thought it was, I know we were talking about Lei, so my apologies. All right. We are moving into, I think, the final video of this playlist, which is Lee Yadam and their performance of Gambler. Very nice. Sarah says, last but not least, Lee Yadam, and Simmons says you'll get to experience it later. Okay, very nice. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Oh, Monsta X, let's go. All right.
If you don't know, I know.
I'm a handsome money. I got a best pomo지. 주머니에 흘러넘쳐 나는 sea. I know all D. 내려와 언제나 깔끔하게 바뀌는 나의 feet. So sweet 한 네 미소 속에 나 빠져들어. 너의 뒤에 네 멈추려고 해봐도 내 벗어나려 해봐도 흔들리는 네 맘 calling me now.
My sword is black, my sword is fashion. Open my pack, let me show how bad. Hold up.
Yeah. Woo.
강한 확신의 나.
하! 이제 알아냈어 널 perfect. 바란 순간에 날 걸리게 만든 새빨간리기.
심장을 걸어놓고
덫에 걸린 네 맘 killing me now baby baby. Deal.
All right. That was Lee Yadam and their performance of Gambler, originally done by Monsta X. Very nice. Yeah, I think overall this is very solid. Like I said, I'm all for people improving, and I feel like there is a level of improvement here that I can see. You could tell there's kind of like a good mix of confidence, and I think the confidence stems from the choreography, but I think the vocal component is one that, in my opinion, I think could be worked on a little bit. It's not to say that it was bad by any stretch, but it's definitely one of those things where I was just like, you can tell the heart's there and just needs a little bit of that TLC. You know what I mean? So I think this was very good. And also, I feel like his like charismaticness in terms of like his facial like structure, like doing a lot of like I don't want to say intense faces because that sounds really mean or rude, but like there was something intentional about the way that like he was like being direct and looking at people. I just felt like it felt very like personable. You know what I mean? Like I love that he was getting into it and getting into the zone. So I like that. Like I said, overall, I think the actual like choreography performance of it was good. I think the vocals definitely, I know, will most likely get worked on, but I think he's definitely got like, so he's got some really good aspects to him so far. So curious to see what is done next. So very nice. Sarah says his facial mobility is a little limited since he recently got rhinoplasty, but is getting back to the really expressive thing. I love him, and so I'm so pumped. Well, obviously, best of luck to his recovery on that. That's awesome. But yeah, this is great. Cinnamon says Yedam's improvement from this performance is just amazing. Sarah says Yedam was one of the several contestants known for being on another survival show before Boys Planet. Okay. Very nice. Cinnamon says that he's my cutie patootie and also biased. So very nice. Very nice. We are completed with the performances, and now on to more shit. So very nice. We are on to the all-star test level. I guess these are the people that are in the all-star. So Sarah might have to explain where these people are placed at. So I would assume all-star level is like the top of the top, the creme de la creme, if I had to guess. And then obviously it goes down by that. Yeah. Okay. Simmons says all-star is top, like 4 stars. Okay. And Sarah says it is in descending rank order, so 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star, no star. Okay. So makes sense. All those people face-wise, it makes sense. That's surprising. I'm surprised that Hanbin was at 3 stars. That's very interesting. Very nice, very nice. 2 stars. Simmons says Hanbin was wild, but they had a good reason. Okay, fair enough. I'm just surprised. Like I said, this is interesting. No stars. That sucks. That hurts me so much. That's rough. Sarah says it was because he was so much more alive during his dance battle with Lip Ja and then didn't show up as much in the performance. Okay, that's fair. I could give him that. So very nice. The next slide we have here is top 9. The top 9 refers to contestants ranked 1 through 9 at any given point during the duration of Boys Planet. This top 9 was displayed and announced 7 times throughout Boys Planet, episode 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 11, and the finale. The top 9 were distinguished with label pins in the shape of stars when the trainee wore their uniform with rank 1, additionally having a gold sparkly one. They sat in special chairs in the center of the main Boys Planet set. That would make sense because we did watch Island 2, so I am familiar. Sarah says, I can send the dance battle 1 sec. Okay, perfect. And then here's the top 9. Sarah says, I cropped the gold pin. That's fair. You're doing far more work than I would have expected. So very nice. All right. So top 9, episode 1 was Hanbin. Second was Jiwon. Third was Yujin. Fourth was Daul. 5 was Gyuvin. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hotek, which makes sense. Hao was 7. Anthony was 8, and Ture was 9. Okay. Brandon knows some survival show lore. Yeah, I do know a little. Sarah says, my girlfriend at my favorite number. Crazy. All right. Signal song test. Following the star leveling test, the contestants were introduced to their first challenge, the signal song test. This test introduced the contestants to the signal song Here I Am, which we listened to earlier in stream, giving them amount of time to practice the lyrics, choreography for the song before being reevaluated by the star masters and having their star levels redistributed. The K group were given 1 day advantage as they were able to earn more stars during their star level test. There were also an advantage given to whichever group had more stars following the signal song test, where the group center would get the center killing part in the signal song video. Very nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Do we stop? All right. God. Okay. Sarah says, okay, please tell me P9 is in Julia Roberts. Wait, that's it. Next section. We will stop. Okay. Actually, you can keep going. Okay. It's just a teaser. All right. Sarah says we can get up to round 1 before the next step. Okay, perfect. All right. I'm just trying to see where we're at. Are we up to round 1? How many more? You can go up to 74. Okay. Holy shit. All right. Very nice. All right. All right. Centers. Signal song test. Hanbin makes sense. And Group G was Zhang Ho. Very nice. Very cool. Kudos. And then we got All-Star signal song test. Very nice. Okay. Very cool. There's 3 stars. All right. That was surprising. He was in the top and he moved down to 3. That's wild. Anthony moved to 3. That's crazy. No, Santa says, hope you're ready for the pop quiz. Oh my god. If it's all pop quiz, I'm gonna be shitting my pants. All right, 2 stars. Okay. I just feel bad for the people who got 1. Like, if they're at like hanging in the 0 and the 1s, that's just wild. Sarah says it's interesting seeing which ones you remember. I do remember some of them. I think it's either by face or just like the performance, but that's wild. And obviously there's some people that I remember that were in 0 and was like, oh my god. Simmons says, wait, Yedem was at 3. I would remembering stuff wrong. I can take a look if you see him. I don't think he was in 3. Maybe not. If you saw it, Cinnamon, let me know. And then we're getting down to the 0 stars. Oof. All right. And then top 9 for episode 2. I think we could stop here. Okay, cool. And then P1 was Hanbin. Yujin, very nice. Jiwang was 3. Yuvin, very nice. Matt, okay, Matt moved up, nice. Hotek, very nice. Hyao, Jay. I'm surprised. You know what? I'm really surprised Jay. I was surprised Jay was not rated higher in episode 1. That's interesting. And Dale, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that Matt and Jay weren't higher, just because I really enjoyed their performance. Yotek, I believe, was if I'm not mistaken, I think was Pentagon's leader. If I chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm surprised. He's been holding it steady. So very nice. Cool shit. All right. Well, we have made it through part 1 of Boys Planet. I think if Sarah is giving me the okay to close episode 1 out, we will close it out. But yeah, very cool. Sarah says, I sent you to dance battle. That's it. Okay, perfect. We will watch the dance battle and we will call it a wild night here in Boys Planet lore. That was cool. Okay, very nice. Very nice. All right, awesome. Okay. I like that. Thank you, Sarah, for enlightening all of us. The judges filming was awesome. I feel like it's like if your pet does something cute and you take your phone out immediately and you're like, hey, like that's how I felt. So the replays are killer though. That was hurting. I feel like that's like one of my. I understand it's for like hilarity purpose, but man, sometimes they be hitting it for the replays. Like they're like, you got a camera like back here, you got a camera in the front, you got like a fucking top down view of it, you've got the fucking lateral side, you've got somebody walking in with a camera. Like too many angles. All right, we need like give me a couple angles. I don't need like 20 angles. All right, I got semi-decent eyes, Kalia says, I don't need to see the same shot 5 times in slow-mo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just you could cook with 3 shots. That's what I'm saying. We're good, But very nice way to end it off on a good note. If you are coming through and watching the Boys Planet expedition, thanks for hanging, thanks for chilling. Day 1 in the books. Much kudos and much love to Sarah. Make sure to show Sarah some love. They have put far much effort than I could ever ask for to do this. So much kudos to them for doing it. But very, very good. I feel accomplished. Sarah says, good job on doing the longest day of the deep dive. Hey, listen, I'm cool. I'm cooking. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. It was great. And obviously very well organized, which I would expect nothing less. So very cool. I will be streaming Saturday. I will collect on time. I'm going to say it's probably going to be like early afternoon, maybe midday. But I will be streaming Saturday. So if you are not doing anything Saturday, come through. I don't know what we're doing. If you would like, we could do another deep dive group. We could do deep dive into another group. We could do, I know previous Saturdays I've done the album streams. So if you want to do that, I'll try to get a feel for it. So Simmons says, I'll be a Universal, unfortunately. Have a great time. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Kala says album stream chaos. Kaylee says catch up and album. Could do that. No Santa says we never ask you what you want. Udi says I'm down for whatever. I genuinely, I'm here for you guys. You know what I mean? I'm here to show up, have a good time. Chat energy is always good. Can't complain. You know what I mean? I know there's some people that can complain about their chats, and genuinely can't complain about you guys. Brandon always answers what we want. I was gonna say that is true. Sarah says I'm living the dream right now, so no whatever. I was gonna say you would have never expected me to do this in the first place. So I felt like I said, if I didn't do it now, I'd probably be bite myself in the ass in like 2 months when there's like 7 other new boys planet groups that dropped. So I try to do what I can here, but very nice. I did volunteer, but I did volunteer to do it, to be fair, but I feel like it was inevitable at some point for me to do it, and I feel like if I prolonged it any longer, it would have been a larger playlist that would have taken much longer. So I felt the decision to do it now. Cal says I'll keep asking for albums because I'm greedy and want Brandon to listen to Sion's albums. Hey, that's fair. I respect that choice. Kaylee says I just need 17 and End Flying title tracks reaction. Then I'm down for albums. Fair enough. We'll plan it out. Like I said, just appreciate y'all coming through, showing up, showing love. It's always fun. So we will plan it out. But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging. Appreciate all you. If you're new, join Discord. That's where all the homies hang out, and I know you're a homie, so come through, come hang out. A bunch of lovely people in there, so would love to see your lovely face in there too. So please show up, and if you like the boys playing stuff, there's more shit to come. So very nice. Thanks y'all. Much love. See you Saturday. Peace.